Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I want to clear up a little bit of confusion because there is a lot of confusion between the rub-on products that you can use and the transfers and what the difference is and which is which. Now, in front of me, I have a range of the smaller Dress My Craft transfers, and these are called Transfer Me, and these are gorgeous designs. This one is called Fresh Lemons, and these are the mini transfers. This one is called the Nature Lover. Absolutely gorgeous transfers, and these are about A2, so about a regular sized card front. And this one here is called the Mini Transfer Me. Now, of course, they have their much, much larger sheets. These ones are a really good price point. I think full price, they're about $1.49 or $1.50 or so US, and then, of course, they come on special and you get them cheaper. Now, they are really, really fun to use, but they are different to rub-ons. Now, these are the Simple Stories ones, and these call themselves rub-ons. These are the butterflies rub-ons, and it's written on the packaging. These are from scrapbook.com, and these call them rub-on transfers. So that word in there is different. Now, these ones here are all just rub-ons like you would think. These ones here are from 49 and Market, and these call these a rub-on transfer set. This one here is from Hero Arts, and they call these Hero Transfers. Now, these are actually rub-ons. The difference is the rub-ons, you really just need pressure to apply them. So usually you do it with a popsicle stick or a bone folder or something like that to apply the pressure. Now, these Transfer Me ones here are different. And as far as I know, Dress My Craft is really the only ones that do these on most of the popular paper crafting websites. Now, I purchased 2 of these, and I purchased 2 for a reason, because I want to do a specific technique with them. But I just want to show you a little about these ones. So these ones involve water. Now, I saw on the scrapbook.com website, I was looking at some of the reviews of these, and these are a brilliant product. But if you're not sure how to use them, then I can see how that would be frustrating. Now, obviously, I purchased a few of these. They are a really good price point, and I have a whole lot of plans. Now, if you want to see those all filmed, let me know in the comment section down below. I have a plan to film a couple of different ones, but you can let me know if it's something that you're interested in seeing. This is also my favorite rectangle set at the moment. This is the LDRS scalloped rectangles. But these transfers involve water. So we are going to use water to apply these. Back in the day when I was a child, we used to think of these more like tattoos, where you would cut them out and put them on your arm or something and put the water on the back of them to transfer them. That's more this style. Now, I have found that you don't necessarily need to use watercolor cardstock or mixed media cardstock for these, because you don't need to saturate it, but I'll show you how we're going to go about using them today. Now, this one here is called the Lovely Roses, and there are sort of 4 main images. Now, I make a really big mistake in this card, and it sort of turns my plans on its head, and I really did think about stopping this card, which is a bit dramatic, but we managed to fix it, and I just need to change my expectations. So I've cut out this gorgeous big rectangle, and it has some stitching on the inside as well as the scallop on the outside. So if you can kind of see that stitching, that is the line that I'm going to follow, and that's why I'm using my trimmer to make those straight edges. Now, this is what the transfers are. I cut them up to use them separately. There is a layer of a thin film on top, which is good to use as an acetate sheet, so don't throw it away if you take it all off before you cut them. And then, so you peel it off, see I can peel it off here, then you put these face down, so the image down, so really everything is going to be in reverse. Now, I have a little acrylic block here with some water and a makeup sponge, and all you need to do is sponge some of the water gently on the back, and the image, you'll start to see the image through the paper. You'll start to see it appear. I would advise that you trim around these a bit. Having less space around the outside that you have to add the water to is probably best. I should have done that first one a little better. Then, if you are able to slide these gently off, you know that it is ready. If not, add a bit more water and a bit more dabbing with some makeup sponge. I have something on the corner of my paper I'm just going to get off. But anyway, once you can slide these off, that's how you know that these are ready. And these images are beautiful and bright, and they dry nice and clear so that you can't really see the edges. Now, at this point, I was like, I should have probably stamped a sentiment on this. I am going to run out of room or get myself into a bit of a corner because I already knew the sentiment that I wanted to use. This is the Waffle Flower Birthday Wishes stamp set that I'm going to use today. And as I said, I knew that I wanted to use this one. It's got some gorgeous little scripty sayings on it, as well as a couple of different fonts in each one. So I'm going to pop this in the corner and stamp it in some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. If you are not sure about having water near it, or you're not using an ink that can be heat set, then you could add some clear embossing powder over top of this, because I am going to add more water. Now this is going to be fine. I'm not going to pop the images over top of the words. So it's going to be okay. And then all I do is just trim so I have these straight edges. Now you wouldn't have to do this if you're following the, if you just put them on a regular piece of paper and then you're going to cut it down later, you don't have to trim them into so that they have the two straight edges. But I am just trying to go with that line that is the line of stitching that the die created from the rectangle set. And then even all those little bits that I am trimming off to begin with, I add these back on around the sentiment, and just to create like a gorgeous little border of roses. Now, the one up the top that you can see, I have put that aside and I am saving that because I want that to go on the inside so that the inside of the card can coordinate nicely with the outside of the card. You know, just a little finishing touch. So I was sort of avoiding using that one, thinking that I would use that in a little bit's time, and that's fine. So once you can see the image through the back there and you just gently kind of slide it to the side, if it slides off easy, you know that you're good to go. Now, at this point, I felt like I just wanted to put a few more of these little extras down the side, so I just dabbed them so that I've got a really nice little border of these roses. Again, this is just one of those pages that I have managed to create this card front out of. And then at this point, I'm going to add a few little splatters. I know that I want my card base. I have it here. It is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base, and when I put the white on it, it gets a little bit lost. It's sort of, it doesn't stand out quite enough. So while those images dry off to the side, I am going to use some Candied Apple Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to colour my card base so that it is essentially going to be red. If you have a red card base, then by all means you could use that and just put a white insert in the centre. Would look really nice. This is sort of a red and whites card. I almost think with the colours of this scheme that you could make this a Christmas card. I think you could pop a Christmas sentiment on it if you wanted to, or a holiday sentiment, and that would be really gorgeous as well. But I just go around the outside because obviously I'm adding on the card front. And then at this point, everything is sort of drying, and I thought I'll add a few more elements that need to dry as well. And so I add some of that Candied Apple to the acrylic block, and I'm going to do a bit of splatter. Now, I don't want it to get those pristine white edges, so I am going to get some pieces of copy paper and just lay them down so that they can protect those white edges and keep them nice and white. And then I start splattering, right? I'm happy, I'm doing a little bit of splatter, and it's all going well. Then I decide to add in a little bit of gold, just something to zhuzh it up a little bit, take it that next step. So this is the Slippery When Wet Lunar Paste. Now I know that there is a gold Lunar Paste, but for me, the Slippery When Wet, which is kind of, I think it's the yellow Lunar Paste, essentially. From Simon Hurley. It's just a much warmer gold colour. And this is my favorite gold splatter. And so I use this, I add a little bit of water to it to thin it down, and I get some splatter on there. Now, it is a little bit hard to see, but I get some droplets, some splatter that's sort of too big and a bit centralized. So what do? I dab my finger in it. And then I, of course, spread everything and smudge all of the red around. And then I go in with a makeup sponge and try and clean it off and make it worse. And then I go in and try and add some little dots to make it look like purposeful splatter. Because at this point, I'm trying to save the card, okay? And now we've just got this big concentrated area of random splatter that looks not right, okay? And so at this point I was like, well, right, what shall we do here? Because this was not the plan. I like everything about the card apart from that giant big blob of splatter that I have there that's now like a smudged line of splatter. Now that's okay, we're going to come to the rescue, and once I took a moment to breathe, it's all smudgy, it's all blurry, and I'm going to use the last rose, which I actually wanted to use for the inside, and I'm going to pop that down here. I did wait till it all dried so that I couldn't smudge things any further at all, and I will put this one here, and that's okay. Anyhow, the most important thing about these is that these transfers involve the water going onto the back of them, rather than all those other ones, even the hero transfers, which call themselves transfers, but they're actually rub-ons that you can just rub on and apply pressure, no water needed, and that is the main difference between these. These are a great product and very versatile if you know how to use them. So I hope this has helped you out. Let me know if you have tried these in the comments section down below, and let me know if you're interested in seeing some more ways that I use up these little smaller ones that I have purchased. Now, if you'd like any of the details of the products I've used, there's always a links down below. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!